I say good luck, because you'll need it and a whole lot more to beat the American Gladiators.
Today on American Gladiators, Chris Parisi wants Nitro. Bad.
I'm gonna get you.
Today, the football star from Williams College gets his chance.
I've been waiting a long time to teach that bad boy Nitro a thing or two.
But Nitro don't take your eye off of George Blasius, a bagel maker who knows how to shake and bake. And Leaping Lizards, Traceee Wolf from Minneapolis is a former Big Ten high jump champion.
I'm sure I'll be leaping over Gladiators all day long.
She'll face firefighter Kathy Mollica from Brea, California.
I'm gonna melt ice.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Gladiator Arena in Los Angeles, California, here are your American Gladiators. Gemini, Diamond, Thunder, Zap, Laser, Gold, Nitro, Blade, Turbo, and Ice. Goldwyn Company presents the American Gladiator. Let the games begin.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Mike Adamley, and welcome to another edition of the American Gladiators. This is the second show in the second half of our season. Winners from this half will go on to meet our first half winners and ultimately meet in the Grand Championship. Working with me, of course, NFL Hall of Famer Larry Zonka. Larry, today, four very interesting and talented contenders, but the one man that stands out to me is a gentleman by the name of Chris Parisi, a college football player. His ultimate fantasy, it's 4th and goal, it's the Super Bowl, and he stops you cold at the goal line.
All right, Mike. Well, if you're going to dream big. But right now, if my name was Rocco Parisi, I'd have two things on my mind. Number one, 5 big, strong Gladiators. Number 2, a fella named George Blasius. George comes to us from Spring Hill, Florida. He's a manager of a bagel chain, ex-Marine, and got engaged the day he received the phone call to appear here on the American Gladiators. His competition, we spoke about a little already, Rocco Parisi. 6 foot, 22 years old, 210 pounds, Fairfield, Connecticut. Goes to University of Mass and is a sports management major.
And their first event is Swingshot, where the contenders have 45 seconds to swing from their towers, attach to bungee cords, and then leap from the floor and try to grab a yellow, blue, or red ball worth 1, 2, or 3 points. Standing in their way are Gladiators 3, Nitro, Thunder, and Laser. They, too, attach to bungee cords.
Ready! Gladiators, ready!
And as a contender, you have to be able to time your leap perfectly to get the necessary height. Now Chris has got to put it in the scoring pot. Here comes George. Thunder will check him. George has got a blue. Thunder got there a little late. And now that center cylinder is swinging a little bit and is swinging away from George Blasius. Thunder really getting great acceleration off the ground. Hard to believe that a man who's 286 pounds can be that sweet in the air.
George again picks up another ball. He's got like a chipmunk routine down, Mike. He grabs the acorn, puts it in his mouth, and scampers up the tree.
Great analogy, Larry. Chris has got a yellow ball. Oh, he uses George's technique. He can't get it back in time, and that's it. And our referee, Larry Thompson, has awarded each man an extra point because Thunder apparently shook one of the yellow balls off the center cylinder, and that is against the rules. You can defend the contender, but not the balls on the cylinders. Here's what Thunder did, and you can see him knock that yellow one to the ground. 4-2 is the way they stand after one event, and the women are next. I'll look at Kathy Mollica, her opponent, Traceee Wolf, in this preliminary round. 2 fine athletes, Larry.
Kathy Mollica comes to us from Costa Mesa, California, 5'6", 130 pounds. She's currently a firefighter, studying to become a paramedic. She has a pretty extensive background in gymnastics and thinks she'll do very well in Swingshot. Her competition, Traceee Wolf, comes to us from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Attended the University of Minnesota as a student athlete, had a 3.95 grade point average. This gal was an all Big Ten high jumper.
And she'll have to deal with Diamond, Zap, and Blaze.
Contenders ready. Gladiators ready.
Kathy Mollica gets a yellow ball. She's got to put it back in the scoring pot atop the platform. She does. Yellow worth 1, blue worth 2, red worth 3, and now Traceee Wolf has a yellow ball.
Kathy just picking grapes out there. She slams into her tower kind of hard, loses her grip. She may be stranded out here.
30 seconds remaining. Traceee Wolf has another one. Gladiators timing off here. Here comes Diamond to face off against Kathy Mollica.
Did she get it back into the basket?
She's got 3. Tracee's got 3.
Traceee doing a good job of getting a lot of altitude. Here she's very close to the pendulum, but just not close enough. Even with a long reach, she couldn't cut it.
And if this first event is any indication, this should be a very even match. The male Gladiators are getting ready backstage. Up next on the American Gladiators, Powerball.
What we talking out there, man? Talk. Everybody communicate. Now talk. Stay in your zone. Shut up. All right, let's go for the shutout. Let's talk. Come on. Come on.
Communication and shutout, the operative words for our Gladiators as they are set to take on our 2 contenders in Powerball. George Blasius and Chris Parisi should do well in this event given their football background. There's the running total after one event.
Both George and Rocco told me this was going to be their favorite event. They look to score high here.
George got engaged to Shannon McClushy the day he got the call from you, Larry, that he was going to be a contestant here on the American Gladiators. An honors football player at Springstead High School in New York. Chris Parisi, a linebacker at Williams College, helped his team win 21 straight games. So this Powerball match should be a good test for both George and Chris. Goals in the outer cylinders worth 2 points, a goal in the center cylinder worth 3. Powerball brought to you by Nintendo, makers of Super NES. Now you're playing with power, super power. Chris Parisi ducks under that double team, but nothing doing there. George Blasius gets slammed to the turf by Turbo. Again, both these contenders with football experience.
Chris trying a little linebacker attitude as George makes a dying attempt to try to put a ball in the pocket. It's like George may have sprained his ankle a little bit.
Laser went head first into a cylinder. George limping around. 8 seconds remaining. George may not be able to go on. That's it. The Gladiators with the shutout, but
It's like George may have twisted his ankle, sprained it. We'll have the trainers take a look at him and we'll get a report.
here's how it happened. Laser wrapping George up and his ankle gets twisted underneath Laser's body. Official Larry Thompson ruled that there were 2 seconds left on the clock, so that's where the game will resume. Chris trying to make one last move. George just elects to stand there. Turbo gives George a little pat as he and his cohorts administer the whitewash. The score remains the same, 4-2, after now 2 events.
George Blasius lent himself to this particular event with a great deal of enthusiasm. But after all, enthusiasm will only carry you so far. Again, this is the moment when George injured his ankle.
And to Chris Parisi, it must have seemed like there were 6 Gladiators out there. He had no place to go. Well, the women are up next. Kathy Mollica and Traceee Wolf. There you see the score, 3-3 after one event. The trio of Gladiators that they will have to face: Gold, Ice, and Diamond.
Ready!
I'll tell you what, I haven't seen a single contender get by ice. You got to make a great move like Traceee did there. She used that long body. Boy, yeah, made me eat those words, I'll tell you.
You put ice on the front of Sports Illustrated right there.
Traceee Wolf Outstanding in track and field. The University of Minnesota was the Big Ten high jump champion her freshman year. Just a little different proposition there.
Kathy Mollica trying a little hook shot over top of Diamond's shoulder.
Less than 10 seconds to go. Traceee so far with the only goal of this match. Kathy gets one as time expires. It winds up a 2-2 tie, and after 2 events, Kathy Mollica and Traceee Wolf are tied at 5 apiece.
Both girls having to take a lot of physical abuse. Ice like a middle linebacker. Wraps her up and takes her to the ground, denies the score. Traceee with a nice move, pays the price, but manages to get it in.
Kathy scored as time expired. She got double teamed by Gold and Diamond. Diamond came out, her help a little too late as Kathy scored there. So Traceee Wolf and Kathy Mollica head back to the locker room after their first taste of Powerball. Let's go back to men's Powerball for a second. You might recall that one of our 2 contenders, George Blasius, twisted his ankle when Laser took him down right here. And Larry Zonka has an update on George's condition.
George, you've had a little time with the trainer. He's taking a look at it. Can you give us an update on just how you feel?
Okay, here's the update. I had hurt my ankle in the practice on the Eliminator on the zip line, and I twisted it, and it was a little sore, and they just landed on it just right, just to give me a little pain. But it feels better now that it's in the ice. I'll be back.
You'll be back?
Yes, sir.
Good.
And with his fiancée Shannon there, George probably will be back. Well, coming up next on the American Gladiators, hang tough. Stay with us. Welcome back, Gladiator Arena, Los Angeles, California. Our women's competition preliminary round action continues with hang tough. After 2 events, Kathy Mollica and Traceee Wolf tied at 5. Kathy is up first in hang tough, and she'll have to swing against Zap. The contenders' objective, to get across this grid of rings without being pulled off and over to the Gladiators platform. If they can do that, they'll earn 10 points.
Kathy with that athletic background, she's now a firefighter. She's used to having the odds stacked against her. Feels that she'll be pretty good in this event because of her gymnastics background.
Played around with the rings a lot when she was a youngster. 45 seconds to get across that grid of 55 rings.
Kathy is right at home on the rings. Plotting her strategy a little bit. She's receiving some prompting from our referee, Larry Thompson. Doesn't want her to stay on one ring too long. As Zap moves in.
Kathy's got the outside line, but she's a ways away from that platform. She'll have to take a leap of faith. Here comes Zap. Zap's got the legs around her.
Hang tough is the name of the game. Will she be able to do it? She does.
5 points for the draw. And momentarily, Kathy Mollica has the lead on Traceee Wolf. Kind of a bad break for Kathy because it looked as though for a moment, Larry, she might get the full 10.
Mike, she is very close. One more ring right here. If she can secure this ring, she would have been onto the platform, but Zap interferes.
So Traceee Wolf will now have her shot as Zap steps to the platform one more time to see her record in hang tough. Traceee Wolf is ready. 1988, she was the University of Minnesota's Athlete of the Year.
Interesting story about Traceee. Went to the tryouts with her friends to take pictures. Hadn't really planned on trying out herself. The usher steered her over to the chin-up bar. She did a few chin-ups, said, hey, this isn't too bad. Maybe I'll stick around. And now, here she is.
Ready?
Traceee, 45 seconds to get across this grid.
Gotta move.
We spoke earlier about her 3.8 or 3.9 average. Pretty smart. She's not cool again. Says, nope, it won't work this way. I'll plot another course. Oh, no!
Larry, a little too cool. She completely lost her grip there, and as she fell to the ground, it looked like her knee buckled underneath her. Our two trainers there at her side. Let's watch what happened one more time. Traceee had her eye on Zap, didn't have her eye on the ring, and down she went. That knee got tucked underneath her body weight.
Mike, she thought she was going to stay on the rings, totally unsuspecting of meeting up with the pads below. When she did, of course, it sprained her ankle a little bit, but she's smiling now.
A look at Nitro ascending the platform for Hang Tough, and it's a moment these two men have been waiting for. Nitro will go against Chris Parisi.
Mike, when I called Chris and told him that he was going to be on the show, his first words were to me, tell Nitro his death warrant has been signed.
I wonder if Nitro has heard those comments or statements. Chris now maybe telling the crowd to calm down a little bit about Nitro. Chris trailing George Blasius 4-2 coming into this event. Chris has 1 minute to try to get across this grid of rings and get to the platform on the other side. Swinging well, but here comes Nitro.
Gotta move.
Chris now going sideways. Actually more muscling the rings than anything else.
30 seconds.
30 seconds remaining.
Gotta move.
Chris lost his forward momentum. He's side to side right now.
20 seconds.
Chris in trouble. 10 seconds remaining. Nitro's got the legs momentarily around Chris. Knocks his helmet off, and that's it.
Chris hangs tough.
5 points for the draw. Chris Parisi now a 7-4 lead on George Blasius. George yet to come.
Chris doing a good job of just hanging in there, foiling Nitro's attempts. I've got a couple of tough guys on my hands here. Chris, you remember the statement you made to me about signing the death warrant?
Nitro's the man I wanted because he's the best competitor. He's tough, but I got him in this one. I'll take the draw anytime. Shot,
hey,
man.
he's trying to butter me up for later events. I know how this guy works. Chris is a good competitor, and he did what he had to survive, and I appreciate that. As you see, we're friends now. When it comes to competition, I don't like this guy.
Well, we'll look forward to your next meeting.
Chris heading back to the locker room. Up now and hang tough George Blasius. George served in the United States Marine Corps. Apparently that ankle okay. Larry, you were with him backstage. He was with his fiancée Shannon. How is the ankle?
Well, I don't know how severely he injured it. It took a little time. The trainer worked on him a little bit. But this is a great event for him to come back in because hopefully he's not going to go to the mat, so he won't be twisting it anymore.
And we can't blame Chris if he roots for Nitro a little bit down there in the locker room.
all of a sudden, Nitro becomes
fan.
an ally.
Yeah.
George is one of those crazy kind of guys. It's like always on a football team or in a group of fellas. He's the one that'll jump out of the tree, take the bicycle, and run over the teeter-totter with it. He just lives for the excitement.
Got a big smile on his face right now, and I don't know why, quite frankly.
He's an ex-Marine. He likes it when Nitro's right up there. Cool and calm.
Cool, calm, and perhaps disoriented right now because he needs to make a move forward. 25 seconds remaining.
He's going to try to slip by Nitro while Nitro's got his back turned. He's right in the vicinity.
Nitro's got a shoelace. Now the legs.
Nitro goes off. Hang in there. Oh.
Well, I don't know what happened there, Larry. I heard a whistle. I know you did too. George Blasius dropped off the rings, but he had 10 seconds left on the clock.
Let go of the clothes. Let go of the
See the clock in the bottom right hand of your screen. George now has plenty of time to head for that platform, but there's the whistle, so apparently we've made an error. One of our spotters inadvertently blew it. George Blasius gets 5 points for the draw and now has a 9-7 lead. Coming up next on the American Gladiators, the Assault.
Get in on the action and join the American Gladiators fan club. Send $3 check or money order to American Gladiators, Van Nuys, California, 91463-0001. Or pick up a fan club application from your local General Nutrition Center.
We are back. Gladiator Arena, Los Angeles, California. More of our men's competition continues, where George Blasius leads Chris Parisi 9-7, and George is up first in our next event. It's called Assault. Scoring for this event, a contender gets a single point for successfully firing each weapon, but the ultimate objective to get the target above the Gladiator.
Sounds easy, doesn't it, Mike? Except when you consider those tennis balls are coming at them 110 miles an hour.
George Blasius on his way.
Gemini lies in wait. George pretty confident about this event. Said if Gemini beats him, he'll do a flip.
George has picked up 2 points for firing 2 weapons. He's fired a third. He's got 3 now. Remember, he sprained his ankle a bit in Powerball.
Oh, sprained his head right there.
Gemini gets the kill. 3 points for George Blasius.
Hard head, George. All right. We told George to use his head, but this is not what we meant, George. Gemini doing a great job anticipating the next move. Gets him right between the eyes.
Bullseye.
Bullseye, I'll say, George. Well, Chris Parisi is up next. Turned in a 4.98 40-yard dash time. Not spectacular, but quick enough. Have to use some of those quicks here.
He's a big man. He poses quite a large target out there.
Ready.
Ability to change direction is what's going to be important.
Come on, baby. Keep it going.
Gemini says, come on, stick your head up.
Chris aiming in on that target located above Gemini. With the crossbow, that's low. Again, a contender does earn a point for every weapon he successfully fires.
Chris says this is his favorite event and his favorite gladiator, Gemini.
Whoa!
He's going to have to pick up some speed here soon because that clock's going to start working against him.
And judging by that last shot, you'd never guess that Gemini was his favorite gladiator. Nearly took his head off. Nice move, Chris. He's picked up 3 points, and if he fires this weapon, a 4.
Down to 15, 14 seconds.
Just high the target.
Hit one of the barriers with his head.
5 seconds remaining. He'd like to get this shot off. He does. Gemini nailed him before time expired, but Chris Parisi did pick up 5 points in Assault. And now, after 4 events, Chris and George are tied at 12.
Chris peeking out, just exposing a little too much body. Gemini anticipates it and makes the hit.
The women are next, and doing the honors for the Gladiators, Diamond, and she's got a pretty good track record in this event. I'll look now at Traceee Wolf coming into the 4th event here. Assault, she trails Kathy Mollica 10-5. Traceee apparently okay after she got banged up in Hang Tough. Remember when she let go of the ring, she landed on her calf, strained it a bit, but she's okay now and ready to go. She'll be doing business with Diamond.
Ready.
Traceee with those big long strides.
She runs a 40-yard dash in 6 seconds flat, Mike.
She missed, I tell you what, she missed the second safe zone there. I think she realizes her mistake.
Oh, man.
Honey, keep an eye on Diamond. Not a good idea to turn your back on her.
No. Oh, Diamond missed an opportunity for a solid back shot. That little mistake cost her some valuable time. High and wide.
20 seconds left on the clock. Traceee has engaged 3 weapons successfully for 3 points. 15 seconds now. Oh! Just below the target.
7 seconds.
Time has expired, but this one is not over yet. They are going to review Tracee's shot from safe zone number 3 with the rocket launcher. Watch it again. The rocket hits the perimeter of the target, and our referee, Larry Thompson, has rendered a decision.
In a very, very close decision, Traceee, I looked at the tape. The rocket hits right at the rim of the target and the black border area. I didn't feel that it was conclusively not a score, and therefore I am awarding you a score based on that information. 10 points for the Contender.
And with those 10 points, Traceee moves out to the momentary 15-10 lead over Kathy Mollica. Kathy is up now in assault. She too will have to face the cannon fire of Diamond.
Be an easy thing for Kathy to get a little down in the mouth, a little depressed over that call. There's no time for that. The action's now.
Ready!
And this event requires the Contenders' utmost concentration. Shot with the crossbow, high.
Way high.
That one just missed her shoulder. She moves to safe zone number 2, engages this weapon. That one's wide as well. Kathy, the first female member of her fire department in Brea, California. Trying to be a sharpshooter now. Oh! She's got off 3 weapons, so she's earned 3 points so far. 17 seconds left on the clock. Now 10. Trying to get this last shot off. She does. She's got 5 points, but she will not make it across that finish line in time. Time expires, but Kathy Mollica picks up 5 points, and after 4 events, her and Traceee Wolf are tied. Be back with more of the American Gladiators after this. Welcome back to Gladiator Arena, and we are now set for Atlasphere. In this preliminary round matchup, Traceee Wolf and Kathy Mollica are tied 15-15 after 4 events. Kathy will be in the yellow Atlasphere. Her opponent, Traceee Wolf, will be in the red Atlasphere. And they will have to deal with the power of Ice Ice Baby and also Blaze. And Atlasphere is brought to you by Twix Cookie Bars, now available in 4 great flavors. One of life's great kicks, Twix. You see the 4 scoring pods, each goal worth 2 points to the Contenders. Kathy at 130 pounds, is she too light, Larry, to do well in this event?
Not at all. She's a firefighter. Talked to her a little while ago. She said she has to throw around 200-pound ladders in what she does, so she should be right at home with this 200-pound Atlasphere.
Ice and Blaze doing the banging for the Gladiators, and boy, did Traceee Wolf get banged.
She stood on her head inside that thing, Bob.
Every time a contender can roll her Atlasphere into one of those scoring pods, they'll get a point. Here comes Kathy unmolested. Can she score?
She
yes!
grabbed it. Ice hot on her tail.
So Kathy right now with a 2-0 lead. Traceee trying to change directions and move towards scoring pod number 3.
Kathy Mollica rolls into number 2. Now we have a little get-together. Kathy's going to come out the beneficiary, however. Right into... No, she's denied.
7 seconds remaining.
I don't think a Gladiator blocked her. I think her other Contender blocked her.
And that is it.
So after 5 events, Kathy Mollica successfully breaks away from the tie and commands a 2-point lead, 19-17. A little concerned about her ability to move that Atlasphere. She did a very good job of moving up and down the court. She had a little trouble controlling right here at the scoring pod.
Larry, the men are up next, and a look at Nitro as he prepares for Atlasphere.
People are dropping like mosquitoes, no flies. People are dropping like flies. Gotta protect the bod. Get the hands covered, the elbows.
And on our Ask a Gladiator segment, Margot Hewitt writes, Nitro, are you really rough and tough?
Margot from Oklahoma City.
I'm not always so rough and tough, but when it comes to an event, I'll do what it takes to win. I'll never hit anybody unfairly or take a cheap shot, but if it means giving all I've got and pushing myself to the limit and copying an attitude to win, I'll take the intensity and the win any time. But once I get off the field, I think I'm probably just your average, lovable teddy bear type of guy. Thanks for the letter.
Okay, anything you say, Nitro, just get in that Atlasphere. The men are next. Chris Parisi and George Blasius tied at 12 coming into this event. A look at Chris. Unusual way to prepare for this contest, Larry.
Well, he said he pushes his car in order to get his legs in shape for Atlasphere. Here's a shot of him doing just that. I push my car a lot, but not to get in shape because it wouldn't start usually when I was that age.
If his driver really wanted to give him a workout, he'd have thrown it into park instead of neutral.
You have a sick mind, Adam Lee.
Well, Turbo is going to join Nitro in this Atlasphere event. Look at George Blasius. Remember, he's nursing that sprained ankle. This will test it. Still the preliminary round, and look at Turbo and Nitro bang heads with George and Chris.
Oh, Turbo went absolutely upside down.
Score for Chris and a score for George. Chris in scoring pod number 1, George in scoring pod number 3. And now George really struggling against Turbo. Larry, here's a guy that broke his leg in 5 places 3 years ago in a car accident, moving a 250-pound Atlasphere, and he scores again.
With Turbo right on his back, George falls down, tries to get into pod number 1, but can't. Mike said if he gets the money, he's going to have his leg fixed and head back for the Marines.
Ain't no give up in that kid, I'll tell you. He's getting bounced all over the place by Turbo. Chris Parisi scores in pod number 4.
And he's got an open shot at 1 if he can put it in there.
5 seconds to go, he gets it. And that is it.
Oh, George just settled into 3. Look at George, is he a tired cat or what?
A 60-second workout like they've never experienced before. 18-16, the way Chris and George stand. Up next, the wall. After 5 events in this men's preliminary round match, Chris Parisi with the 2-point lead on George Blasius, and they are now set to scale our 32-foot wall.
That's it. It's for everyone back home. Come on. Be with me. Be with me, guys.
Yeah, but you're going to be all alone on that wall, Chris. Well, for a few seconds anyway. Then Laser's going to start up behind you.
Mountain high, baby. Mountain high.
Contenders given a 10-second head start. George is focused, and so is Gemini.
All right. I got it.
If the Contender can make it to the top of the wall in 60 seconds or less, he'll earn 10 points. The second man up gets 5.
Ready?
George slams into that wall. He isn't worried about that ankle at all. Chris slips off. Now I don't know what he's doing. Laser tells him to get back on the wall. I don't know what he's thinking about there.
Well, that's a bad break for him. He wasn't aware that he was allowed to attack the wall again. Laser able to pull him off, so George essentially has a free climb. Here's a guy whose greatest satisfaction in life comes from people who smile after they eat one of his bagels. Satisfaction here would be getting to the top.
Mean a great deal to him in this Eliminator coming up. This is a free shot. There it is. There's the problem he alluded to before he started this thing, was the fact that he just couldn't quite make the reach. Here it is. It's all right here. He's got a grip.
Talk about a gutsy gamble by George Blasius, but remember, he's working against the clock.
And he's working against that short reach also, Mike. He's got a grip on it. He's going to hoist himself out.
But did he make it in the allotted time? Judging by the reaction on George's face, the answer is no. Let's watch it again. George, it's almost not fair to put forth that kind of effort and come up 2 seconds short of making it in the allotted time span.
Oh, that's right. I hadn't made it all week. I finally made it, but a little late, but I made it. I'm happy.
Even though you didn't get the 10 points, that was terrific stuff, George. Thank you.
Thank you.
But you know that George is one very dejected young man.
Pete. Wow. All that for nothing.
Well, the women are next. Kathy Mollica with a 19-17 lead over Traceee Wolf as they are set to scale this 32-foot wall. Chasing Traceee will be zapped. The Contenders again given a 10-second head start. Kathy Mollica taking that deep breath. She'll have Diamond after her. How did Kathy prepare? Well, back at a workout facility that actually had a wall in Orange County, California. Traceee did a lot of work. Let's see if it pays off here. A look at Diamond's record in this event. Traceee and Kathy set to go.
Kathy from a very athletic family. Her father's a golf pro, mother was a gymnastics coach. Her brother David had a tryout with the Seahawks, made it to the last cut.
Here come the Gladiators. Kathy on the right, Traceee on the left. Both women side by side. But Diamond very close to Kathy Mollica. Traceee Wolf and Kathy side by side, but down goes Traceee. She lost her grip and that was it.
And look at Kathy go.
10 points if she can get up there.
One hand on
60
it.
seconds.
Up she goes. Kathy Mollica coming away with 10 points. She whooped the wall.
That was so intense. That's the best event.
It was intense, but the best event is yet to come, Kathy. It's the Eliminator. We are set now for the event that will decide everything, and the women are first in the Eliminator. Kathy Mollica pulled away from Traceee Wolf by picking up 10 points in the wall. Her 12-point lead translates into a 6-second head start. Again, according to our scoring format, each point worth a half second in time. Still, Traceee has a fighting chance. As we have seen many, many times before, big head starts have a way of evaporating in a hurry. Larry's with Traceee at the start line. Larry?
Traceee, I know that injured wrist you have has cost you some points in the last two events. Do you think it's going to give you a lot of problems in the handbike?
It worries me, but you just got to keep going. You just got to do what I got to do and keep on going.
That's a great winning attitude. Good luck.
Also of concern to Traceee Wolf are four Gladiators in the penalty pit below the handbike. Blaze and Zapp, and on the tower on the final straightaway, Gold and Diamond. Kathy in the yellow, Traceee in the orange. Kathy with that 6-second head start. Firefighter from Brea, California. Her mother and father, Don and Carol, are here to root her on. Not to mention all the people back at the fire department. Boy, she was up that treadmill quickly, and here comes Traceee Wolf.
Kathy cranking on that handbike.
On that handbike, Larry. Down she goes. Now she'll be detained by the Gladiators for a total of 10 seconds. Meanwhile, here goes Kathy scot-free across the spinning cylinders. Now up the cargo net.
Here comes Trace back into the end of the race.
And Kathy Mollica moving smoothly. Traceee, though, now at the base of the cargo nets. It could be close. Kathy sets herself. She's on the zip line. Down she comes. Nice one-point landing. 2 walls to negotiate, and then a final straightaway.
Traceee taking a hold of that ride down the cable. Will her wrist hold? Does a good job.
Boy, is Kathy Mollica tough.
Here comes a big ball. Nice move right past it over the final hurdle. And through the tape. Kathy Mollica, you are one tough competitor. You come from fine stock, competitive stock. It was a tough race.
Yeah, it was. Oh, God, I'm so glad it's over with for today. That was, I don't even know what to say. It was great.
You don't have to say a thing. How about I say congratulations and welcome to the next round.
Thank you, Larry.
Mike.
And Larry, certainly congratulations in order for Traceee Wolf. Here's a woman who actually went to the Minneapolis Gladiator tryouts as a photographer, and then one of her friends said, hey, Traceee, you're a good enough athlete. You can compete. She did. She made it here to Los Angeles, and she gave a great account of herself. Well, the men are up next now, and Chris Parisi and George Blasius have both expended a great deal of energy through the 6 prior events. Now it's time to dig just a little bit deeper and come up with that something extra for the Eliminator. Coming in, Chris has a 2-point lead over George, which translates to a 1-second head start for Chris. However, George, bad ankle and all, is undaunted. And I know you're with him at the start line, Larry.
George, you're having some problems, but you're an old devil dog. I know you're going to give it your best shot.
Yes, sir. I had a little trouble with my ankle, but I just got to get up that conveyor belt. Once I get up the belt, I'm going to win.
I'll be watching you from the other end. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Well, George, we call it a treadmill, and our Gladiators call it a lot of hell if you fall off the hand bike. That was a look at Turbo and Nitro, Thunder, and Laser on the tower above the final straightaway.
Ready!
Here comes George Blasius. Oh, man, what an effort. Chris Parisi working his way across in the hand bike. George Blasius has worked his way even.
Look at this devil dog.
Chris goes down to the cylinder. George Blasius now ahead.
That ankle's giving him some problems. But right now, he's paying no attention to it.
Question is, did the treadmill take a lot of energy out of George? We have seen a lot of people struggle when they hit the wall, literally, 2 walls.
He's got to get his legs up here.
Chris still struggling on the cargo netting.
Oh, he came down on that ankle.
He is going to be a sore puppy tomorrow, but who cares, right? Over the second wall, limping down the final quarter, then ducking that ball over the wall and across the finish line. George Blasius, believe it or not, bad ankle and all, is advanced to the second round. Wow.
Yes!
We talked about it. Devil dog. Here comes your gal. Tell you what, these anniversaries of y'all's upcoming marriage have got to bring back a lot of memories about the American Gladiators.
Yes, sir. Oh, so happy. So happy.
Well, a superb effort. We talked about it at the beginning about your ankle and how tough it was. You pulled it out.
Yes! Heart. The heart won it. My heart.
All right. Congratulations and welcome to the next round. George Blasius. Yes. Mike.
And Larry, you know, it would have been the easiest thing in the world for Chris Parisi, George's opponent in this preliminary round matchup, to give up once he saw George take the lead and go over those walls, but Chris did not give up. He continued. He crossed the finish line. He is down with our trainers, winded, exhausted, but all right, and we congratulate him as well. Coming up next week, more exciting preliminary round action, but that's it for now. For Larry Zonka, I'm Mike Adamle. See you next week on the American Gladiators.